Hi, how you doing? What's going on? Welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby. I'm the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist, and yeah, you're in the replay. So welcome. How you doing? If you're watching in the replay, which you are, do me a favor and let me know that you're here. You can write hashtag replay, hashtag... I should make up my own. I keep saying the same ones every day. Hashtag replay artist. Somebody wrote replart once. That was fun. I liked that one. Let's see. We got some people coming in. Amy is here and Hector is here. Thanks for writing the H, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I still don't see you, but you put the H in there. So let me see if I can hit this thing. And I can't play the video again. You know, maybe I need to restart my phone. All right, well, I can't see this. Anyway, how's everybody going? If you're joining me live, like Amy and Hector and Robin and Marcia, then good evening, Bobby. Good evening, Marcia. How are you? And Mikey. I'm here promoting myself. Good one. Then, yeah, start commenting, and you can keep commenting while I'm talking, and I'm going to ignore all the comments, do my spiel, and then when I'm finished blabbing about what I got to blab about, I'll come back to the comments and I'll read them all. And we have a nice conversation. And sometimes I know what I'm talking about because now you guys are catching on. Now you guys are giving me a lot of context in the comments, which I appreciate. But I don't know. It's not as funny anymore. You know what? I realize I have gum in my mouth. Give me a second. I got to spit this out. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. That's not going to work. I'm going to be chewing in your face. I should restart my phone because my lives won't play on my phone. So anyway, who needs that? All right, let's just get started, shall we? Itchy nose. Overzealous. Yeah, we've been talking a lot. I talk a lot about being your best advocate, learning what's authentic about yourself, being confident, and all of these things, right? And it makes it sound like you should just be like blabbing about yourself all the time, but I don't mean that at all, because confidence doesn't really have much to do with being a loudmouth. It doesn't have anything to do with that. In fact, it doesn't have anything to do with having a look at me kind of an attitude, and it certainly doesn't have a kiss ass attitude either. So I just wanted to talk about that because I wanted to make sure that I was being clear about that. I'm sure that I was, but you never know. So let's. Yeah, I just saw Amy's you're gummed up. That's good. Because I won't know what the hell you're talking about when I read that in 10 minutes, but I understand it now. So I have three things I want to talk about with being overzealous. It's also a little late here tonight, so there's going to be walking around because we had to move our schedule around tonight, so it's a little different. Usually everybody's nice and quiet when I'm doing these, but tonight it's different. So if you hear noises, it's just my family. All right, so number one is when you're overzealous, then sometimes, by the way, if you don't know what it means, overzealous just means like you're just too exuberant to promote yourself or talk about yourself or to make yourself known in a situation. That's what it means. So number one is it makes you seem desperate, and which can also seem annoying. And that's a negative energy. You don't really want to have that kind of energy. Have you ever gone into since I just bought a car yesterday, if you didn't know, yesterday we bought a car, tomorrow we're picking it up. And since I just did that, this is kind of what started this, is we went around shopping, and one of the sales guys that we met yesterday was a bit overzealous, and it was really off-putting, you know? So the energy of being that way can just be alienating to the person you're trying to persuade to be into you. It could just be like, whoa, back off. You know, that can happen in romantic relationships if you're just too like, do you like me? Do you like me? Are you thinking about me? Are you still remember me? Blah, 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 blah. Things like that can just really make people put the brakes on the whole thing and say, you know what, you're just way too much work. And it could be like that in business. It could be like that in personal relationships, in anything really. And it can really especially be that way on Facebook because we kind of get these... There's like a strength that you feel on Facebook or other social media because you're not looking right in the person's face. You're hiding behind a phone or a computer. And so, you know, there's almost like this freedom to express yourself a little bit too much maybe because there's no immediate repercussions. You don't see the person's face going, ooh, right? But they're doing it, and you don't want them to. So I was talking the other day about, using Facebook groups and then sending people to your Facebook profile, but even that can be overdone. The idea of a Facebook group is not to jump in it and promote yourself and just be like, hey, look at me, look what I do, look at me, and here's me today, and here's me now, and here's me again. And you don't have to comment on every single thing. You can be a part of the group, and you can definitely be excited to be here, and I love that. There's so many people that are just an important, critical part of this group on a daily basis, and it's wonderful. And I'm not thinking of anyone or anything, so if you're sitting there going, oh, I hope he's not that, I'm not. Okay, this had to do with the car salesman, so everybody just chill out. I'm just thinking that I have seen this in the past and in my old group, and there were just people, it doesn't really happen here, which I'm very fortunate about, because it's why I have the no links in posts rule, and no sharing from your Facebook page, because a lot of people will just use that as permission to just be spamming the group and promoting themselves, and I don't want that. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. But that doesn't really happen here, and I'm very. But don't do that other places either. Be relevant, be helpful, be useful, be friendly. Be yourself. Really, it's be yourself. And when you're overzealous, you're not being yourself anymore. I'm getting ahead of myself because that's number 3. All right, number 2 is sometimes being overzealous can make us overreach for things. We were talking yesterday about how a lot of times the opportunities that we get in life aren't always these big leaps forward, but they're kind of like a little steps. And a lot of opportunities add up to big leaps, but we don't feel them as a big leap because they're happening one little piece at a time. Well, sometimes we are looking for the big leap, and we kind of get a little overzealous and try to force the big leap, where it's like we want this thing to happen, we want to make this thing happen. We're just going to either, I said, what's the worst that could happen? You could pick up the phone and you call that art gallery and say, can I show my thing there? That's fine. But if you're calling every day and the curator from the gallery goes out to her car and you're in your car across the street with binoculars, that's weird, that's really overzealous, but, and so we find that line where it's like good, not good, and stay on the good side of it. But we can sometimes overreach for things because you can push and push and push a situation where the universe is just forced to present something to you that now energetically you're not really ready for. Maybe you just scrounge up a lot of money so you can buy something, but you're not ready to maintain that thing, or you take the leap to quit your job so that you can jump feet first into this new business that you want to start, but you don't have any clients yet and you leaped too soon. So that's a really good example of being overzealous. You can find yourself in a position where it's like, what did I do? And now you've got to deal with the ramifications of that. You'd have to deal with the consequences of that. And sometimes you might have to turn your tail and run back to where you were. And just a quick aside, I can tell you from experience, that is not fun, because I have done that in the past. Years ago, I wanted to create something that was similar to where I'm going now, but I was so in a rush to get there that I made up what it could be artificially. This is cool, and it was just cooler than the business that I had, so that was just cool. As long as it was better than what I had, I wanted to be there. And I artificially created the scenario so that I could sort of leave my old business behind and jump into this new business. And when I did that, I accidentally, without really meaning to, I burned some bridges in my old business. Clients, I didn't have fights with them or anything like that, but they just assumed, oh, you're going in a new direction, so I need to find something else for this. And I kind of let that happen and lost those clients. They now were making other relationships because I was too focused on going in this new direction. And when that wasn't happening, I realized I'm going to be in trouble. So I had to turn around and go back to my old business, except now I lost clients because I was too exuberant to just get there already. I couldn't wait for the universe to lay it out for me. I had to figure out how to do it. So sometimes being overzealous means being too impatient and just trying to force the situation. I don't recommend it. And number 3, so the first two, you can hurt your reputation and you can kind of get yourself in a bad spot, maybe with other people or whatever. But number 3, the thing to think about is you can literally hurt yourself by being overzealous. And let's think of this in like law of attraction speak, right? We understand that, things are either downstream or upstream for us. And when we're being overzealous, there's a lot of upstream energy in that. And as Abraham would say, there's nothing that you want upstream, right? So when we are fighting against the tide, when we're paddling against the current, that is literally not easy. It is hard. And when there's not ease, we get dis-ease, right? So that's where disease comes from. And so we're not being authentic. We are creating a situation that is not sustainable for ourselves. And we are creating literal dis-ease in our lives, which can manifest as bad relationships or literally disease. We can get sick, even if it's just a cold or run down or a sore throat or something. That still stinks. I'm a baby about that stuff. We can just get tired of doing this. We can get to a point where it's like, this isn't working and I don't even like this, and why am I doing this, and just feel like we're stupid and like, why did I even have this dream in the first place? I should just drive a truck or something, not that there's anything wrong with driving trucks, but that's not my dream. So you know what I mean? It just creates a lot of extra work and a lot of extra stress, and we don't need that. All right, so let's head to the comments now. I see some essays. I've missed those. Thank you guys. So hang on, I forgot to angle this so I can see it better. There we go. All right, Mikey's here. So who we got? We got Amy, Hector, Robin, Marsha, Mikey, Kelly, Replart. I forgot who said that, but it was a good one. Rainbow is today, says Robin. Amy, you're gummed up. Yeah, Amy, it's getting late there, huh? Kelly says, hi Kelly, how you doing? I lacked confidence for so long. I'm going to take a breath. Hang on. Yeah, okay, good. I lacked confidence for so long that sometimes a healthy dose of confidence can still feel like it's overzealous. Working on self-awareness of that. That's a really good point. I'm really glad you said that, because here's how that feels like to me. Sometimes I get into a situation where I'm just going to give you a real life situation, okay? I can think of more than one time in the not very far distant past with my business where I may have ended up in a situation where invoices were due, clients weren't paying me on time, my bills, they don't give a crap that I'm not getting paid, they want to get paid. So now I'm like, I'm feeling the tightness of this, right? And I might call some of these clients and they're not answering the phone, or, oh, well, we didn't get paid, so we can't pay you, because whatever, and then suddenly I'm feeling like I would realize, okay, if nobody's getting back to me, if nobody's paying for me, if these other prospects that I'm talking to, none of them are ready to start their projects, what is the common denominator here? It's me, right? It's me. It's my energy is creating this scenario where the people that I owe are hounding me, and the people that owe me or want to work with me or whatever are nowhere to be found. That's me. I've created some weird energy here. So then, usually through overzealousness of some factor of some kind, right? So then, as Kelly is saying that, then it's like I've gotten into the situation now where I'm lacking confidence. I'm getting worried or nervous, or my brain is thinking of worst case scenarios, right? And then when I do my energy work again and I relax and I come into my power again, I don't get it's not like the power just turns right on. What happens is it starts to come back, but now I don't trust it, because what happens is I say, oh, I'm starting to think like I should call that guy, that, it's been a week and maybe they want to do the project or whatever. And I want to call that guy, except now I'm questioning myself. Wait a minute. Am I feeling inspiration to call this person from like source, or like, is this the right thing to do, or am I just so desperate that I want to call this guy? Oh my God, what do we do with the project? Right? Which one is it? Now I'm in that limbo stage where I don't know, and when I don't know, I still don't do. I just say, well, if I don't know, then there's a really good possibility that it's the bad one, because if it were the good one and I knew it, I would know it, So I wait, and usually by the next day, then I know it, and then all of a sudden, then everybody wants to talk to me. It's always how it goes, right? So when you lean too far into the overzealous and you're trying to come back, there's that moment that could last a day or a week or a month where you're not sure, did I come back? Is it okay to post? Is it okay to call? Is it okay to do things? Or if you're still questioning that, then just wait another day or so. Amy says, be yourself always. Everyone else is taken. They are taken. I got stuck with this. Robin says, Amy Tyler, thumbs up. Mikey, having had to promote myself for years/decades, I found it useful to write in the third person when writing bios, press releases, etc., as if someone else is doing the promoting. Yeah, that's a style choice. I don't really have a problem with either way. And from what I'm getting from you with that though, Mikey, is that by doing so, it helps you feel like you're not being overzealous, almost like you can keep a feeling of modesty because it sounds like somebody else is saying this about Mikey. And if that works for you energetically, then I say go for it. That's a style thing. Some people like it, some people don't. I say, who cares? Do what works for you. Kelly says, I think being yourself naturally will mean being more kind and gracious. Authenticity nurtures the heart. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you're being overzealous, you are not being authentic. None of us are authentically annoying. None of us are authentically desperate. That's just not it. You become overzealous. Let's just use desperate instead of that word overzealous. When you become desperate, it's because you're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting your higher self. You're not trusting the strength that you possess. We forget sometimes that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But when you're desperate, you're just the human. You're only feeling the human. Your energy around you has shrunk so much that all you know is this body, and that you're in this room or wherever you are, and you're just like, what do I do? It feels really scary. It's also not the truth. So yeah, definitely. Authenticity nurtures the heart. I like that. Very good. Marcia, no matter what you are selling or promoting, be humble. Yes. Have confidence in knowing your product. Good. Don't be desperate to make it happen, or it can come across as being pushy. Just be real and be yourself. Yeah, I talk about my buddy Landon in here all the time. He taught me a phrase that I use all the time now. It's called positive indifference. If you can think of this, indifference means I don't care, right? Positive means like I have an optimistic outlook about this. So positive indifference kind of means that I don't care what happens because I know it's going to work out for me. I want that client, right? Or I want to make this sale, or I want this relationship, or I want this thing, whatever your thing is, I want it. But what I really want is what it's going to feel like when I have it. So, can I have that feeling from something else? Do I need that client to get the money that I want? Or do I even need a client to get the money that I want? What if like I looked in the backyard and there was a pile of money? Would I still want the client? Not really, right? So it's like we attach our emotions to this physical thing that we have no control over. And we say, I need to have that thing so I can feel this thing, but we have the power to feel the thing. And when we feel the thing on our own, then the universe says, well, now you're feeling the thing, so here's 16 other ways to get it, but you don't even need that way. Or here's 16 other ways to get it, and you can have the one that you were thinking about, because that one is on your path of least resistance. Positive indifference just means that I trust that I'm going to get things that are going to help me maintain this feeling. I don't really care where they come from. I just want the feeling. I just want to be happy. I just want to have a happy life. I don't care if it's that client or this client or that client, or I win the lottery. I don't really give a crap. I just want to have a happy life, and that's that. So, yeah, very good, Marcia. Robin says, how can someone know when they are being overzealous? Is there a way to know, aside from being blocked or posting too much? LOL. Well, that is aside from that, yeah, yeah. What's the old rule? If you're in a room and you don't know who the annoying person is, you're the annoying person, right? How can you know? Really, the only way to know that I can think of off the top of my head is to constantly be doing the work to be connected to your higher self, to be self-aware. That's the word. Self-awareness is the answer to your question, Robin. You need to be practicing self-awareness all the time, because when you are self-aware, when you know that my stability comes from me, my happiness comes from me, I don't need this or that or this or that or you or you or you or you. I don't need any of it because I've got it already. Then you will never be overzealous. You will never be desperate. You will never be annoying, because you'll feel safe and stable and secure in yourself, which we all are. When you're feeling desperate, just be aware of the fact that desperation is an energy. You don't even have to go on Facebook for people to know that you're desperate. You don't have to be that. People can feel the energy. We understand that, but the rest of the world doesn't understand it. But every human being can feel it. So hide. just hide and do your energy work and come back when you're self-aware and feeling back in your authentic power, and you'll never be annoying. So Amy says, I know some overzealous people, and it's almost like they become different people in that moment of trying to convince others to get their products. You can see them switching off and wanting to run. Yeah. Absolutely, right? Going back to the overzealous car salesman, it's just like at some point I was just like, do you have a card so I could just get your card? We're going home. I have to go to the bathroom. Just we're done. You know what I mean? Leave me alone. You don't want that pushy person. You don't want the kiss ass. You don't want the try. My kids call them tryhards, right? When my son was playing on the soccer team, there was always the kid on the soccer team who, no matter where on the field the ball was, that kid had to run all the way across the field, even if it was like the opposite corner of where that kid was supposed to be to play his position. He had to be way over there to get the ball, because if his foot wasn't on the ball, then he just didn't feel good about himself. There's always a kid like that on every team, and the kids all called that guy a tryhard, because they try hard. So yeah, don't be that. Where the heck was I? I know that was Amy. Yeah, you can see them switching. You can see the other people switching off and trying to get away from them, or talking about them, right? So yeah, don't be that person. Robin says different sites have different limits on posting just enough or posting too much. Some allow more than others. So is that just a function of each particular site? Well, yeah. Let's just take Facebook groups as an example, okay? That's all one website. I'm not sure what you mean by site, but I'm just going to talk about Facebook groups since we're in a Facebook group. I'm in some groups I've seen where, like, there's advertising ones, for example, and it says only 1 or 2 posts per day per member, because otherwise there's going to be people who are going to post something every half hour. And because it's an advertising site, nobody wants to scroll through the site and see the same advertisement over and over and over again from the same person. That just kind of makes the entire group useless. I don't post limits on how often you can post here, because I haven't run into a thing where somebody's posting the same thing over and over and over again. Some people post once a month, some people post several times a day, but every post is different and unique. So I say, and everybody's into it. If I saw that nobody was into something, I might take that person aside and be like, do me a favor, post less. But everybody's into it, so I'm just like, go for it then. It's just adding to the energy of the group, and I'm very happy about that. But yeah, you also have to think that, am I posting so much that now it's becoming the me page? Then there's that issue as well. So you use your own meter. If you're starting to wonder, am I doing this too much? You're doing it too much. Just slow down. That's it. Police yourself. Everybody can police themselves. If you're starting to think to yourself, I wonder if my energy is off. Your energy is off. That's it. If you're wondering it, it's off. Robin Murray, overzealous, only exists when, this is Kelly. Kelly says, Robin, overzealous only exists when dealing with other people. So you have to gauge it by the reactions you get from others. Be aware of the perception of you only to a healthy degree, though. Yeah, good. Amy says, nearly midnight, but I got up at noon, so I'm good. Okay, there you go. Tomorrow I'll sleep through the live. And here's, I don't know who this is, and I can't look. So somebody said, maybe it's Hector, I don't know. So in other words, be patient and practice calmness. I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. You're showing up as anonymous. But yes, be patient and practice calmness. If that phrase works for you, then that's exactly what I'm saying, you know. Patience in terms of, I think you might be talking about when I was saying about overreaching. Yeah, sometimes I just want something and I want it now, and I can be so impatient over it that if I see the least bit of wiggle room to get it, I become overzealous and I'll reach out and I'll grab it instead of relaxing, staying in my calm strength and allowing it to show up in its own time. The latter is positive indifference. The former is overzealousness. So do the latter. Amy says, relaxing and being yourself means people see you as you. Yeah, be you and the world will adjust. Then you can create an authentic product of you. Don't know if that made sense. It did. Very good. Yeah, once you know you, then you can allow the ideas to flow. You can really get the relationships going, and then you can create something. If something that you want to sell is the product of you, you can create that product, you can create that art, you can create that business, you can create that relationship that is authentic to you. You can't have a thing outside of yourself that is authentic to you if you yourself are not being authentic to yourself. You'll be attracting things that, if you are being inauthentic, you will be attracting things on that resonant frequency that are equally inauthentic. And then you're just surrounded by crap. So, what's that? Not me. I don't know. Maybe you do, but I doubt it. Marcia says, did I skip one? Nope. Marcia says, I always follow up with my clientele and stay personable. Good. I found that people like this reminds them you can be contacted anytime. Yeah, so that's great, right? I'm not saying like, oh, should I call that client and like just any phone call is annoying. No. If you have clients, it's great to call them. It's great to reach out. It's great to keep the connection flowing. That's awesome. And that attitude, Marcia, I think is great. Perfect. Keep doing that. Robin says, when I post a lot, I'm not feeling desperate, just happy to share creations, but I don't want to be too much. But how would I know if I'm too much, aside from being blocked temporarily, which was embarrassing for me? Facebook itself might block you because you're posting a lot. Okay, how would you know? Well, again, I would say if you're feeling like, here's how I would gauge it, Robin. Get the feeling of where you are. All right, so let's take this group for example. I'll be honest with you, you post a little more often than other people do, but it doesn't really bother me at all. If it did bother me, I would just quietly reach out to you privately and say, Robin, could you cut down on the amount of posts that you do? I've never done that because I see that your posts are always engaging and people like them and they're always a little different and it's interesting because over time there's been an evolution to your work, and everybody who is interested in it can see it in real time, and anyone who's not interested in it doesn't have to look at it. It's just a thing on your timeline for 4 seconds. You can scroll right past it if you don't want to see it, right? So but if you are beginning to feel personally that, I feel like I'm posting too much, then police yourself, because you may not even be annoying anybody, but what you're doing is you're creating an energy discord in yourself, because now you're questioning yourself. So if you're questioning yourself, just keep gauging it. Post a little less, and then go back up a little bit, and then post a little less and go back up a little bit and find that sweet spot. And I would add, be okay with the possibility that that sweet spot will change over time. It's probably not just, 3 posts a day and that's the limit and it's got to be no more, no less. Now, Sometimes it's going to be great, and sometimes it's going to be, you know what, I'm going to even just skip a day. Be okay with it going up and down. It's a wave. Kelly says that self-awareness clarity response you had was a good mine. It was a gold mine tonight. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Well, that is the last comment. So, Kelly, you get the booby prize tonight, and I'm done. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. As usual, I appreciate you for being here and hanging out with me and commenting. And I'm giving you guys a chance to steal that booby prize from Kelly, so you better hurry up and get a comment in. Otherwise, I'm going to end this. All right, well, that's it. I'm going to go breathe. Have a good night. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.